We've gotten some pretty interesting new information on Jurassic World Rebirth. Director Gareth Edwards has recently come out in an interview and stated that the film is going to be more aligned with the first movie in the Jurassic Park series. But he also went on to describe that as, quote, an action horror movie. He's also revealed that the dinosaurs the team is after in this new installment are going to be a mix of old and new species that should be very exciting for fans of the franchise. And we also have a new set photo to go over featuring Scarlett Johansson during filming. There's a lot of new stuff that I think gives us a better picture of the kind of movie that they're trying to make here, and I want to just dive into the facts before giving my own thoughts on what's up. What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So there's actually two places we have new information on the movie coming out right now. One is the Empire magazine article we were promised a few days ago, and the other happens to be from the website Vanity Fair, which itself states, quote, Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali wade through a field while filming in Thailand with director Gareth Edwards from Rogue One. In the seventh movie of the franchise, they're members of a team harvesting genetic material from wild dinosaurs that contains life-saving compounds. The other parts of the dinosaurs are as deadly as ever. So the set photo shows off Zora Bennett and Duncan Kincaid hunting for one of the species on the island to secure that genetic material from. And I gotta say, once again, jumping off from the last photo we got a few days ago, I really think this movie is aiming to be way more mature than the last few. Zora looks determined to get whatever creature is that they're after, and I don't know if Mahershala Ali is just watching his step or something, but I do think if this is Isla Sorna, it would be gnarly to have him stumble across a skeleton of one of the hunters from the Lost World Jurassic Park, but that's neither here nor there, just a little fun idea that came in my head. Anyways, the other article is way more extensive, and while there is some information in it that we already know and have known about for a long time, a few new things jump out that explain a lot more about the tone and production of this movie. First off, Gareth says that his work on Godzilla from 2014 kind of already foreshadowed the work he would ultimately do on Jurassic Park, but also said it's way better to work with dinosaurs instead of monsters, with, quote, the fact that they really did exist means you can't dismiss them as a threat. When other films try to scare you, you can fob them off and say, well, there's no such thing as monsters, but there's something very primal about dinosaurs because we're mammals with millions of years of embedded instinct that tells us some giant creature at some point is going to chase us and try to kill us. So it feels instantly relatable. Gareth Edwards compared both his work on Godzilla with Jurassic World Rebirth, saying that dinosaurs present more of an immediate, viscerally direct peril, whereas Godzilla needed to be more of a disaster movie. This one allows him to make, again, quote, an action horror movie of sorts, which he compared directly to the original Jurassic Park. Now, do I think this movie is going to go out of its way to be a giant horror film first and foremost? Well, no, I don't, but I do think that the emphasis Gareth Edwards is putting on things like scaring the audience and the peril of dinosaurs is actually something to make a note of, because we haven't heard that kind of talk about a Jurassic movie in a very long time. You know, when Colin Trevorrow would come out and compare the Giganotosaurus in his last movie Dominion to the Joker, saying that it just wanted to watch the world burn, and I know that probably was taken out of context, but that was so silly and strange, whereas Gareth Edwards is just saying, no, I'm making an action horror movie, the dinosaurs are going to be scary, they really existed. With Godzilla, we did a disaster movie. With this, it's more of like animals charging you down. That's cool. I do like that, and the question has to be asked, what does that mean for Jurassic World Rebirth? Are we going to get that A Quiet Place style Jurassic Park movie, or is he going to do something more like Godzilla from 2014? I gotta be real with you, I kind of don't care anymore, because either of those options sounds better than what we've been getting over the last few years, if you follow my drift. Now, to continue forward, Gareth Edwards also says that David Koepp's script really impressed him, and he's even shooting this new movie on 35mm film for the first time in his career. The article states that this movie is supposed to blend elements of a mission movie with some classic Monster Island antics. Scarlett's team is apparently destined to meet up with a shipwrecked family along their way to track down and gather DNA from the biggest animals on land, sea, and air. Gareth Edwards again spoke on the plot with quotes, "There are new things in the film that I'm really excited about. There are certain dinosaurs it would be a crime against cinema not to include. Hopefully it's a good combination." So this is actually pretty interesting because many people have been assuming that they already know the three species from land, sea, and air that the team is going to be going after. You know, usually people are like, okay, Mosasaurus, Spinosaurus, Quetzalcoatlus, or, you know, something like Brachiosaurus, but it looks like this news seems to suggest that it's a mix of old and new animals, which is pretty cool. Interestingly, it looks like Steven Spielberg himself mentioned that he'd met up with Scarlett Johansson a while back, and she was actually very interested in showing up in a Jurassic Park movie. And as soon as Gareth Edwards heard that, he pretty much made his mind up that they should call her to be in the new film. Now, speaking of the actual filming itself, apparently the cast and crew had to go through some very tough conditions, slogging through real jungles, mangrove swamps, and mountains in Thailand, as well as being, quote, thrown into the ocean. That ocean scene sounds super interesting, but Gareth Edwards continues by saying the following: "Most actors would have walked off set given the circumstances, but everyone doubled down because they were so excited to be in Jurassic." Now, part of me wonders if the harsh shooting conditions have anything to do with the movie being so rushed into filming, but the other part of me is hoping that it's going to sell a very real experience for the film. If the actors had to go through a lot of real-world stuff while filming the movie, you know, and the movie's all about surviving from dinosaurs, that could make it even more believable. It's kind of crazy, though, that they're even admitting here, like, yeah, the shooting conditions under this film were really harsh and that they didn't have too good of a time on set, but it makes sense. All in all, the movie really does seem like it's shaping up to be something way different from the last few we've gotten in the Jurassic World trilogy. I do want to put an emphasis on the whole action horror thing, though, because that's something that's been backed up with a lot of Gareth's quotes of it being scary and having stuff like action on a monster island and dinosaurs really existed, so it's more perilous and all of that stuff. It sounds like Jurassic World Rebirth is genuinely trying to be scarier than, at the very least, Jurassic World Dominion, which I'm sure is going to be something a lot of people are happy to hear. As far as the species go, the mix of new and old is really interesting, and since this is an old island facility, it makes you wonder who exactly is cloning the dinosaurs, or where did they come from if we've never seen them before? Are they old engine animals that aren't on a list like the Spinosaurus, or are they something like Biosyn creatures? There's no real explanation as to that just yet, and I know a lot of you are interested in seeing a trailer. I don't have any concrete information on when that's going to be dropping. My best guess is not in the immediate future, but that could change. So with that being said, guys, what do all of you think about this information? Are you excited to see a movie that Gareth Edwards is kind of describing in more action horror oriented Jurassic Park? And do you even believe him, or do you think this is going to be another Jurassic World Dominion situation? I personally don't, because the rollout for this film is so wildly different than the last. It really does look like they're trying something different. But hey, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear all about them in the comments down below. Now, before I go, I want to thank everyone that's helped me build my channel over the years. I'd also like to thank every one of you guys who've watched my stuff. You've all been extremely cool to me. If you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate a like and hope that you'll consider subscribing. God bless you all. Christ is King. See you guys in the next video, and as always, take it easy.